Good morning, everyone. It's Thursday, July 7th, 2022. I'm in Moorhead, Minnesota with my sister Paula. We're going to attend a class reunion, 50th class reunion over in Hawley, Minnesota in the next few days. I attended school in Hawley from kindergarten through 5th grade and then moved on to Dunlap, Iowa. I haven't had any contact with anyone in Hawley during this time, and it'll be interesting to see who I meet, who I attended school with, and I'll keep you an update on that. Thanks and have a good day. I hope I don't get burned at the stake. You're looking at the property that we used to own and live on. The farmhouse was moved away. All the buildings are marked down, and there were two small sloughs here, and you can see part of the big slough over here. It's all part of a wildlife refuge now, and in the background you can see the end of the golf course, which is part of the property my dad sold to the city many years ago. We helped install the rodeo when I was 10 years old. But that's all of this. Originally, our road looped along this group of trees along here, and you can see on the grassy mounded area back there, that's where the house was. It was somebody bought this and bought the house and moved it someplace else. So I don't know where the house is anymore. There's a small marshy area, or small slough right here, and then where these trees are, we rebuilt and brought some dirt in and filled it in so that our driveway would go straight, because during the wintertime this driveway would all fill in with snow. So this way the snow would just blow over our road, and we didn't get blocked from going in. This is a Dunlap rodeo. I remember when I was 10 years old, my dad and I came and helped build the Dunlap rodeo, but it's changed. It used to set a little bit closer to the road. It's probably down on the edge over there is where it used to be. Since that time, they've added some things. They have fields here for playing baseball, and there's a little bitty lake where I learned to swim over in the corner there, but they don't have swimming there anymore. This was the city auditorium. Back when I was probably in 3rd or 4th grade, my mom signed me up for ballet, and I did a performance in here where I put a flower in my mouth, and that when the other girls had done their little dance, I came forward and threw the flower out of my mouth at the audience. And that was last time I was in ballet. This is the high school in Hawley. It's a completely different building from what I remember. So they must have tore down the original because of asbestos or something, and they rebuilt a new building. But I remember walking past it and thinking, someday I'll be in high school. But I only made it through 5th grade here. This is the grade school in Hawley. They've added on to it since I was here last. The main section back in the back there is all original the way it was. And they've also added a aquatic center across the street from it. So that these buildings right in front of me here have all been added since then. I remember standing down there by the entrance waiting for my bus to show up so I get on the bus and make my way home. This little slough or pond sits behind the school. You go across and there was a small baseball field or whatever, and you go beyond that and you'd hop the fence, and this was this pond. We would take ice skates with us, and during lunchtime we'd come out here and skate. And the snow didn't go away till almost June here in Hawley. And when it finally did, we'd go in the back of the school there and play marbles. On a side note, I think I still have all my marbles. I haven't checked recently. This is a gymnasium at Hawley Elementary. During my senior, or not, during my 5th grade, they set up a screen and projected the annual boom. And we all sat on the floor and watched the movie. This is the 4th grade. Don't remember the room, but I was probably here. This is the 5th grade in Hawley Elementary. I don't think they had computers back then. This is grade 1. Grade 2. This is grade 1.
Yep.
This is grade 1. It's actually taught by Mrs. N. Carlson. One of the things I counted while going through the elementary school is they had at least 4 first grade classes, which is different from the school I graduated from in Dunlap. That a gal mentioned they're running out of space for the kids here, and so can you imagine having 4 different classes for the kids that you go to school with? Some people can. I can't. Okay, I'm finally meeting with my classmates from Hawley. A few of them actually remembered me. They remembered that I went by Ricky, not Rick. People up in Dunlap still call me by Richard, not Rick. Here's some of my classmates from Hawley that are no longer here. For the last 50 years?
Oh, I'm Arlen Haug, and most of the last 50 years I've been living in Connecticut. I have a little painting business out there, paint old houses for a living, and self-employed. And for hobbies, I'm a big record collector. I love music. That's probably about it. I'm not married.
Never married?
Never been married.
No children?
No children, no.
Thank you. Okay, your name again?
Dave Johnson.
And tell me what you've done for the last 50 years.
Last 50 years, boy, that's an easy question. Actually, it's come off. The biggest thing is I spent 20 years in the Navy Reserves, and worked for nonprofit organizations, the Home Builders Association of Fargo-Moorhead, the North Dakota American Legion. Basically, just out doing what I do best, glad handing and saying hi to people.
Wife and children?
2 boys, divorced. Two boys, one's a CPA for Price Waterhouse, and the other one is finishing his 3rd year of med school. 27 and 25 years old, so they're late bloomers.
Okay, thank you.
I started Hawley in the 2nd grade after they closed the country school out there at Rolog. And I graduated there, went up to Fargo, worked for Steiger for 10 years, and come home and tried farming full-time. Decided I had to go back to work and still keep farming part-time, so I started at Rapid in Hawley and worked there for 30 years, and then I retired, and now I'm still got the family farm at home, and that's where I live. And I have 2 children with Jackie Anders, who's also here, and we later split, and then my wife Faye, and we have 2 children together.
Hi.
And life is great.
Nancy Anderson. I'm Nancy Spillum now. I live in Minnesota by Rolog, a little town called Rolog, so I haven't moved very far away. And I have 3 children and 8 grandchildren.
And you just been a mother then, or have you done other work or something?
I have worked. I've been a bank trainer, and I was a compliance specialist at a company for several years also.
Graduated in 72. I have a wife, Nanette, who I've been married to for 41 years. And we have a daughter that is 33. Her name is Quinn. She has 10 and 4, Caden and Cameron. So there you go.
On the way up here, we listened to a sermon about radio network and the name of the service is "Don't Cheat God." Now, most people that listen to that means pay your tithes, pay your 10%, make sure that God gets every penny of it. But it's more than that. Sometimes God wants you to go someplace, and the reason He wants you to go that place is because He has a blessing for you to go to that place. And that's exactly what happened to me in this little trip up to Hawley. The reunion, 50th class reunion, it was a blessing for me. And if I hadn't gone, it wouldn't be a blessing. So if you have someplace else to go or somewhere to go, do away with your excuses about not wanting to go, or you don't have the money, or you're too tired to go, or whatever. If you want the blessing that God gives you, go.